beautiful green track. Looking quite glorious in this bright, bright sunshine. I was actually made aware last night by a friend back in the UK of another green track. That's at Marlow, just outside London, to the west of London. There's a green track. Let's go to this A race, though. There's the Spanish representative. What a roar there is for Jael Bestouet. Czechia in 1, Britain in 2, France in 3, Klaver goes in 4th, the Netherlands, Junk of Germany 5, Barzola Portugal 6, Sweden 7, Spain in lane 8 as they get underway. Now, don't expect Klaver to be too strong out of the blocks. Indeed, she's got some work to do there, the tallest in the field in the orange, but she can come back at them in the second half. Really good running going on there inside her there from Paris of France, down the back, home straight. And that shot, not a great deal of use, I have to say. Bestouet on the outside is going to take this one for Spain. What a run from Bestouet! Wow! Maximum points for the Spanish. Paris or France second. I think Klaver might have been run out to it into 4th place. Yes, she was. It was Junk of Germany who came through for 3rd spot. Crikey, what a run from Bestouet. A championship record, no less. 22.19. That is quite astonishing. We take a look at what the wind was doing in that. It was plus 0.8. It's a fast track. She had a following wind. It's sweltering hot. And she had lane 8, so that gentle bend to negotiate. She is having quite some weekend. Jael Bestouet, a national record, a championship record, and the fastest time by a European this year. Confirmation of the championship record. Jael Bestouet. 22.19, a championship record, the fastest time in Europe this year, a national record. Parisot, fabulous, a personal best for 2nd, and Junk, a personal best for 3rd as well. And look at the rest of them, all producing very substantial performances. 2 national records there for Portugal and Hungary.
Anyway, there's the team standings after 26 events. The very first event of today concluded, the women's 200 metres, and Italy still retain their place in the lead, but the gap has closed between themselves and Germany by 6 points. No change at the lower end of the table. Ukraine, Finland and Lithuania still occupying those 3 relegation spots. In 2nd place at the moment, the only other man apart from Leonardo, Fabbri, who's gone over 20 metres, did so in the last round, 20.01. Oh, that is a huge throw from Bukovieci. That's fairly close to 21 metres. See there that we got a white flag. So that's not going to overtake Fabbri, but it's going to put some distance between himself and the likes of Scott Lincoln and Victor Pettersson, who are directly behind him. 20.55. Now, as the pulses start calming down, it's Victor Pettersson. He's been pushed back down into 5th place now. He needs a good throw to be able to secure a place in the last round, and I think that might well be it. I think that's around the 21-metre mark. Just waiting to see. 21.10 comes up on the scoreboard for Pettersson. Just glancing over into the infield, and I saw him trying to get the crowd behind him. He was waving his arm in the air, almost conducting the orchestra. He can give it everything now. He's got absolutely nothing to lose. 21.49, just to remind you. That championship record of Haratic is 21.83, and that might just be there. He's dancing around. I think he knows it's a big one. Is it going to be a championship record? 21.68, just shy of the championship record, but the best mark of the day. And what a way to finish the shot put competition. What a way for Italy to continue confirming their place in pole position in this European Team Championships.
To be honest, I just came here. I wanted to throw 22, but it was so warm. It was not a joke today. So I must be happy because I went big on the last one, and my legs were so hot. So I'm happy about that because technically I'm getting better and better. So it's okay. I just needed to get 16 points to the team. Hopefully we're gonna win tonight, so I'm happy.
So there's the shot put results, confirmed what you've been watching over the previous hour. Leonardo Fabbri taking it with a massive 21.68. 4 putts better than the 2nd place Victor Pettersson, 21.10. Bukovieci of Poland and Lincoln of Great Britain, 3rd and 4th.
There is the situation after 27 events. Italy 26 points to the good. Fabbri's score has been thrown in there, of course. That's certainly given them another boost. Germany second, Netherlands third. Poland and Great Britain close together. Indeed, Netherlands and Poland are the same score, but it's down to wins and losses. So the Netherlands getting third place at the moment. Spain not far behind Britain. It's a very, very tight, isn't it, for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And of course the Spanish with home advantage. I wouldn't write them off just yet for making the top five. France and Sweden, quite a gap between them at the moment, some 20 points or so.
Now starting to look a little bit detached at the bottom, Ukraine, Finland and Lithuania. Well, the javelin competition continues on the infield. Still Elena Zenko leading with 62.23. Now it's the A race of the men's 200 meters. So as they settle down from the inside, it's Lithuania's Truskauskas, France's Schaub, Spain's Afonso, Germany's Hartmann, Desalu for Italy, mo-ajok for the Netherlands, Harris, Great Britain, and on the outside, Czechia's Nemec.
Set.
Well, it's mo-ajok doing well at this stage. He's up on the shoulder of Harris and he's coming off the bend in front. The Dutchman's flying at the moment. The Dutchman's got a personal best of 20.37 and he's en route to doing very, very well indeed. It's 16 points to the Netherlands. It's a championship record and he's cracked his personal best. 1.8 meters per second on his back. That's an absolutely flying run from mo-ajok. He looked great coming around the bend and he held his form all the way down the home straight. What a terrific performance. He's taken 19th hundredths off a very good championship record which has stood for 8 years. Oh, mo-ajok, the race of his life, a championship record for mo-ajok. So there's the men's 200 meter results. Mo-ajok of the Netherlands. 20.01 championship record for him.
And we should be able to build that into the overall scores. There it is, Italy 331, 32 points to the good now. Netherlands closing up on Germany after that discipline, but still some 7.5 points down on Germany, who've done well to gradually battle their way up second. Poland in fourth, and then not much of a gap back to Britain in fifth. Spain up into sixth now, and still going strongly. Lithuanians, well, I think they are more or less down and out. Bronze medalist back in 2018 in Berlin. Remember those wonderful European Championships in the German capital's Olympic Stadium. She was also seventh in Tokyo at the Olympic Games 4 years back. How well has she hit that one? That's not bad, around 59 meters. That's a pretty solid opener. Very fluid throwing action.
So next up, Elena Zenko. Only woman over 60 meters in this competition so far, 60.06. Greek, former European champion. Very expressive thrower. Always hear her when she's on the run-up. Oh, good long pull on the javelin. Again, very high angle of delivery, but it's a good one. It's a very good one. It's around 62 meters for Zenko. And that stamps her authority on this competition. 62.23 for Zenko. Moves further and further into the lead, the Greek thrower. Well, she's got great credentials in continental competition. Just adds a little bit of luster to her record.
So an Andrzejczyk then. Fifth round for the athlete from Poland, who isn't quite what she was, not in her best form. That's around 61 meters from Andrzejczyk. Now, she opened with a 50-meter throw, that was modest, and then a 57, a no throw in round three, then a 54, and that is big, 60.42.
So there are the results. Zenko confirmed, 62.23, quite convincing winner. Maria Andrzejczyk, season's best, rounding into form, as Tim was saying, building throughout the competition. the other thrower over 60 metres in this competition with 60.42.
It's the situation at the moment. Italy 38 points ahead of Germany. Poland just a point and a half down. That's a real battle going on for second and third. The Netherlands, well, they're not far behind Poland. Great Britain there, up into fifth, and within reach of the Netherlands, and therefore not far behind Poland. The Brits could get into third place. Spain still going well with a shout of making the top 4 or 5. They're in sixth at the moment.
Yes, and down at the bottom, Hungary dropping a place to just above the relegation zone, but Ukraine, Finland and Lithuania looking as though they're staring relegation in the face and going down to Division 2 in 2 years' time. So this is the women's 1500 metres. 16 women, a very, very packed field for a 1500 metres race. Also in there, Galvadaite, the Lithuanian, was fourth in the 800 metres. Just see the bright yellow strip of the Lithuanians from the rear, and it is Galvadaite who's up for the front, but it's the Pole who cuts across very quickly. Kazmierska, Claudia Kazmierska, has a personal best of under 4 minutes, but as a 4:03 runner this year, Guillemot tidily getting out of trouble up on the shoulder. Fairly reasonable pace for the opening 150 metres. We were expecting it to be sedentary. It's a bit quicker than that. It's not flying though. Kazmierska in front, Guillemot, Kohlberg, Walcott, Nolan, as you can see the indicator on the lower left-hand side of your screen. Well, now it seems to have dropped down. They've got themselves all where they want to be.
Costa on the outside there in the orange for the Netherlands moving through, and so is the Portuguese athlete, looking strong at the moment, and threatening now is Afonso as they hit the bell in what, about 3:07. It's still slow. It didn't really pick up as much as expected that last 200.
Now Guillemot's edged away into the front now. She's tucked in on the inside curb. Afonso's come the long way around the outside. I'm just wondering what she's got left in her legs after that 800 metres in these conditions yesterday. Sjoberg starting to drift back. Costa, who we know over the longer distances, she got a European indoor medal a decade ago over 3,000 metres. Costa, you wouldn't have expected to be one of the quick women. Now Walcott Nolan also, but Guillemot now really starting to work really hard as they come into the last bend. Afonso on her shoulder. Afonso trying to find a change of gears, but it's still Guillemot doing well on the inside. Walcott Nolan's moved up to third. It's the Frenchwoman and the Portuguese battling though. Afonso's moving out wide. Can either Guillemot or Kazmierska Can Walcott Nolan come through on the inside, but it's Guillemot pulling away, and she crosses the line in 4:08.72. Well, after that really slow 72-second first lap, it gradually got quicker and quicker, and a pretty decent time at the end. Just about 3 seconds outside the championship record, and in these conditions, that's good racing, particularly over the last lap from the Frenchwoman, Agatha Guillemot. There's the results of that. Guillemot, 4:08.72, a very good run in these conditions. 16 points for the French. Salome Afonso, good points as well for the Portuguese. 11.
And how does that stack things up? Well, there it is. Italy still out in lead, 37.5 points ahead of Poland. They're getting a stronger grip on that cup now. Poland in second. Great Britain up into third now and going well. There's everything to battle for with Hungary at the moment, looking further, more and more comfortable just above the relegation zone. Well, over to the 1500 metre start then for this men's 1500 race, and what a race it promises to be. It's a high caliber field, this one. I don't know if it'll be slow and meandering like the women's race for the early stages. That is the norm in championship racing. But let's take a look at these fellas. For Larissa, the rack is a 3:32 performer for Poland. The Portuguese Nada has to start with his favour. He's a great racer. Won the Oslo Mile 3 weeks back in 3:48. The championship record held by Mohamed Katir, who won 2 years ago. He's been busted since. A lot of people would love to see his championship record go, 3:36.9. It's not that intimidating. Needs somebody to take it out at a good tempo, though, if that's to happen. And the Finn, Jonas Rinne, takes it out for the first couple of 100, although there's quite a bit of pushing and shoving in that big pack. It's not quick. Rinne bouncing along extravagantly out in front, with the Brit in second place, Archie Davis at the moment, who's in very good form, 3:35 at the beginning of this month in Dresden, Germany. 500 metres to go. Davis has shown a little bit of inexperience there. He's allowed himself to get swallowed up. The Brit is back in about 8th place on the inside and really badly boxed as they begin to wind it up now. Coming down the outside is the Frenchman Lagti Chaudhar, the 21-year-old. And they hit the bell now. It's not been quick. 3:46, 3:47 at the bell. This is championship racing. This is where you cut your teeth and learn how to get it right. 4 abreast then, with just over 300 to run. Nielsen on the inside. Nada, we know, has got fantastic speed. Bronze medalist at the European indoors over 1500 as these two begin to turn it on down the back straight. 2:50 to run. The Frenchman moving up to 3rd place, Lagti Chaudhar, but Nielsen trying to hold that inside line as Nada pushes hard round the outside. He's making him run the longer route, but Nada changes gear. He's been in incredible form in recent weeks on the Diamond League circuit, with big win in Oslo Mile, 3:48 there. He lost to Katir 2 years ago. He strides away here with a 5-metre lead, waving to the crowd. He's going to take it this year without any problem at all by 6 or 7 metres. Nielsen second. I think the Pole, Philip Rack, coming through to 3rd place. Archie Davis run right out of it there, back in about 10th or 12th place, I think, as they crossed the line. 52.02 there from Nada, and he was striding along quite comfortably, and they didn't really get motoring, Phil, until about 2:50 to go. I've no doubt at all that Nada there could probably run 50 points for that final circuit. He looked in complete control. 3:39.08 from Nielsen. It was indeed Rack 3rd. Good points for the Spanish, with Ben in 4th place. Lagti Chaudhar, who's run 3:30 recently, the Frenchman, down in 8th place, run right out of it. And some of the names you wouldn't necessarily expect to be up there. Tortel is a 3:35 performer. He finishes in 5th place with some much quicker names behind him in that one. And there it is, Phil. Italy, 33 points to the good still. Great Britain back down in 5th now.
Only 6 events still to go. Italy looking as though they're going to be the champions once again of the European Team Championships. And it's also looking now as though Ukraine, Finland and Lithuania in 2 years' time will be in Division 2. Not all over yet, though. 6 events still to go.
Onan now at 1:94. She has a failure at 1:91 to her name, but a first-time clearance there, that's valuable. That'll keep things bubbling along for the German, mentally and in terms of points. That's her 5th jump. She might regret that first-time failure at 1:91, because that was a lovely clearance. Here is Zodzik. 3rd and final attempt at 1:97. This for the lead, and to apply some pressure to Mahuchik. Oh boy! Oh wow! Goes clear, does the pole. Absolutely brilliant. A real pressure jump that. At 28 years old, she's relatively inexperienced in major international championships. Well, actually born in Baranovichi in Belarus. Mahuchik then. This to take the lead on her own. She shares it still at the moment with the Pole Zodzik. 2 meters exact. She tops the world rankings with 2:02. That was at Doha in the beginning of May. Can she get it right now at the end of June? She can, and how? In emphatic style, she booms over 1:97 at the 3rd time of asking, and now 2 meters exactly at the 1st time of asking. Now she begins to show her class. The aggression was back there, Phil. Again, that speed on the approach, so much more. That's better. Look at it, you can still see the coach saying, come on, that's what you need to be doing every jump, not only when the pressure's on.
Well, Mahuchik confirmed with that 2-meter clearance. I'll tell you what, that's the 60th time in her career that she's cleared that. 1:97 to Maria Zodzik, just 1 centimetre below her personal best, and a good 3rd place for Imke Onen, 1:94. Well, there's 3 field events going on. Now it's the turn of the steeplechasers. That championship record Louisa Geiger's 9:17.31. It's a bit of a tall order, but the Albanian setting that in the 3rd division in Horzo 2 years ago. Well, we saw a championship record in the men's steeplechase a couple of days ago. That was a little bit of surprise in these conditions, but just wondering whether we're going to see something of the same here. It's a quick start. Well, they usually have to be quick in the steeplechase because they're looking for a good position at the first barrier, be able to sight it. Still a big bunch behind. Buda at the front. Also the Spaniard, Serrano. Just looking for a good sight of the first barrier.
The funny thing is, though, Phil, there is no barrier for the first 250 metres or so they really ought to be flying through this first section and gain time, use the fact that you've got no barriers, but they don't. They all lope along as though there are barriers there, invisible barriers almost. They come to this first one now. The Dutch athlete out in the front there, it's Veerle Bakker, I think.
Serra still very much up there, the Briton who's been at the University of Virginia in the United States, running well over there. And the pack is now down to 5 at the front, with Krolik now starting to push the pace quite significantly. As expected, they heard the bell and the tempo's increased. Renault, the Frenchwoman, Mononen of the Finland are up there. Serrano still, and Tate. That's the 5 at the moment, battling for contention, but it's still Krolik with 3 barriers to be navigated. Krolik now looking for a clear runner, coming through on the inside, ducking through is Tate. Renault out in lane 2, she's doing well at the moment. Good hurdling there from Tate and Renault, and it's the Briton versus the Frenchwoman now as they're coming round, coming into the last water jump. 2 barriers to go. Tate in front. Tate's got clear run at it. She's navigated that barrier cleanly. Just 1 to go. Now Tate starting to sprint. This is a 9:24 runner at best. This pace has increased significantly over the last 500 metres. Krolik now on the outside. She almost stumbles, but now she's starting to move. Renault now trying to close it down on Tate. Is Renault got the legs? Oh, it's so tight on the line, but I think it went to the Frenchwoman.
Renoir took it, there's no doubt about that. Tate, I don't think she eased off. I think she was flat out there. A brilliant run for the Briton, but Renoir had a target. And so often the psychology of chasing hard gives you that extra carrot dangling in front of you, a target, something to run at. She took the silver 2 years ago, 2nd place 2 years ago, and they say Mononen, the official results. It wasn't. It was Renoir, wasn't it, who took that one, I think. Or was it the
Let's look at the replay, because the finish in the French kit looks very similar. So Mononen, it is confirmed as the winner. 9:49.21. Serra Tate, Great Britain, 2nd, and Krolik of Poland in 3rd.
So Italy still 21 points ahead of Poland, who have had a good last couple of events. The Netherlands up into 3rd, Germany 4th, Great Britain 5th. Germany breathing down the neck of the Netherlands. Great Britain in 5th, just a few points, 6 points ahead of Spain. Every event, every point now really accentuated as the focus comes down to its significance. Finland, well, they desperately needed that win, but I think they're probably still in trouble. They're 2nd from bottom. Lithuania surely are gone. Hungary could yet be under threat from Ukraine. Well, you can see top of your picture there, the athletes lined up for the men's 5,000 metres. Andreas Almgren setting that European record for Sweden in front of the home crowd in the Olympic Stadium in Stockholm a couple of weeks ago. 12:44.27. Anything under 12:50 is an incredibly quick running at 5,000 metres. So 12.5 laps of the track, then here they come already this year in a season, thanks to technology in the shoes and other assisting factors, is seeing incredibly quick times. Already this year, 24 men have broken 13 minutes. This one, for me, the main protagonists, Ndiko Manayo, Labalu, Kripa and Laros, and it looks like it's going to be one of those slow, meandering affairs for the first few laps. If it is, we'll go back to the field events of plenty, but I'll keep you abreast of the way it unfolds. For Great Britain here, Dave Malarkey, his 3,000 personal best, much superior to his 1,500 or 5,000 bests. He's actually run 7:42 for 3,000, his lifetime best at 5,000, only 23. That might be enough in this sort of company, because it will be slow, and it'll play, I suspect, into the hands of Laros, and they will be aware of that, the 1,500, the 5,000 and 10,000 specialists, because he's super quick at 1,500. 3:29 he ran last year 1.2 the win behind that. Now they've got about 500 to go in this 5,000 metres, and we're down to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 athletes there. Nobody has really turned it on yet, but he is in control of things, and he might as well be at the front in a slow race. Laros there beginning to move up down the outside. Here comes Gripper now. He's got great speed, great strength. Set the Italian record for the half marathon under 60 minutes in Napoli a couple of years back. As they come to the bell this time, 12:51.5 at the bell, give or take. That fourth kilometre wasn't quick either. It was a 2:44, and now Ndikimwanayo begins to move away. He's making a long charge for home. Laros, as you'd expect from the 3:29, 1,500-metre man, into the back straight. But has he got the legs here? As Ndikimwanayo doubles down, the defending champion. Lobelo of Switzerland in third place. Gripper really struggling for speed here, and the German having a good run, Ruppert back in fifth place. As they come round the bend, it looks like the Spaniard is going to take maximum points here. A successful defence of his title, or is it? Laros coming back at him, a nervous glance over his shoulder there, and Laros hits the front, and they played into his hands, didn't they? They didn't test him from further out. Somebody should have gone hard from 3 laps out, and this, I suppose, was pretty predictable. Laros storms away there. Very comfortable victory for him. 52.8 I got his last lap at, and hardly surprising there. Somebody, one of those 5,000, 10,000 specialists, should have made it tougher from a kilometre out, Phil. Laros there getting maximum points for the Netherlands. They'll love those 16 points.
Yeah, we were talking about it as the race unfolded, that this was playing into the hands of Laros, and indeed just went through the gears as they came off the bend, and there was nothing that Mo-ajok could do about it, and indeed he was caught on the line by the fast-finishing Dominic Labalu of Switzerland as well.
There it is, the men's 5,000 metres, maximum points for the Netherlands, 13:44 in a typical championship slow race. Lobalu second for Switzerland, and Ndikimwanayo third for the host Spain, and Ruppert a great run. We think a debut for 5,000 metres. They're in fourth place.
23 points though between them and Poland, and a further 10 points further back to Netherlands. Germany just 3.5 points off the podium at the moment. Portugal dipping down, no change at the bottom though, and it is starting to look very much like Ukraine, Finland and Lithuania will be going down to the second division. So Michaela Mahambo, another woman who had a no jump in the first round. Well, Hondema leading the way with that windy 670. His long jump hasn't quite sprung into life. I thought we might see a few big jumps in the first round, given the quality of this competition. But, well, it's the turn of Mahambo now. Former world champion, former European champion. Such a great jumper and such a charismatic character. Close to the 7-metre mark now. Let's just make sure it was a white flag. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is pretty much a white flag. You're just looking across there. He's got 5 centimetres to spare on the board. Gets great lift. 6.84 to take the lead for Michaela Mahambo of Germany. Herzig leading the way back to the long jump. Larissa Iapichino squeaked into the top 8. This is the 5th round now. Oh, that's a massive jump. That's a huge jump. We're just checking to see whether it gets the white flag. I think it does. Can't quite see across the stage. Right on the board. Oh, yes, she does, by 2 and a bit centimetres. Now it's just a question of waiting for that mark to come up. I know it's going to be a big one though, and that could well put her in front. Well, the Italians have already seen the infield marker. 6.92. She takes the lead. She leapfrogs Malaika Mihambo. It's a massive jump from the Italian.
De Sousa, the Portuguese. 4 rounds under her belt, 6.67 in round 2, almost identical in the 4th round. This is her in 8th place now. Well, that's not bad at all. Such good speed, the big adjustment there. She was getting to the board.
I feel excited. I'm very happy for the points that Italy has gained with my performance. It was a bit of a thriller today, but we managed to take first place, so I'm very happy.
There it is, confirmation of that win for Italy yet again. 692, 16 points, precious points. Germany, Mihambo, 684. They will love those points too. D'Souza, season's best, 684. And Callan, 678. Tacha for France, 676. And Jazz Sawyers, along with Pauline Hundema of the Netherlands.
But now Italy, 408.5 points, 31 points ahead of Poland. Almost a decisive lead. They're almost there. Germany move up into the bronze medal position with 371 points. Just 1.5 points in front of the Netherlands, though. And we know the Netherlands are going to put out an absolutely cracking mixed relay team.
Well, back to this Javelin competition. And now the big German getting ready to throw. Opening throw here. Julian Weber, one of the biggest throwers in history with that 91.06 from the middle of May this season. How well has that one gone? How well has it gone? It's gone really well. It's over 85 meters. He loves it. Nobody else has broached the 80-meter line yet. But Weber, who is down there in 13th in the throwing order, has waited a long time for this, and he gets it right. Bang! 85.15. That'll take some catching.
Matsavicius, the Lithuanian, is in 5th place at the moment. This javelin competition hasn't quite ignited yet. 74.76. That's an improvement. That's around the 78-meter mark. That's a nice throw there from the Lithuanian. As we were saying, the conditions not helping the javelin throwers. It's very heavy, very still. You need a lot of power to project that 800-gram implement through the air. Under these circumstances, that's an excellent effort from Matsavicius. 78.28 from him, and it moves him up to 2nd place.
As we go back to this javelin competition, and Ukrainian Felfner, 5th round, 75.39, came in round 3, and that is big. Oh boy, slaps himself there. Some congratulations. In round 5, he's gone out over 50 meters, over 80 meters. Absolutely superb. And when you think that he opened with a 66 and a 64, where was that throw hiding all that time? The Ukrainian has hit a big one, and it becomes just the 2nd man over 80 meters. Weber, remember, the German, opened with 85.15. He's got the competition in the bag, the maximum points in the bag. But Felfner, at just 21, throws a massive season's best there. The championship record stays safe, albeit to a compatriot. That was 96 meters by Hannes Vetter, his compatriot. There it is, Vetter, Felfner, Matsavicius, 16, 15, 14 for Germany, Ukraine, Lithuania, respectively. Dan Brainbridge, 73-12, 10 good points there for the Brits. And Ramos of Portugal, Krukowski of Poland, Quijera of Spain, all throwing well.
There's Italy. And after 36 events, that confirms Italy as the champions. They're in an unassailable lead now, but it's still a great battle behind them between Poland, Germany for 2nd and 3rd place. Netherlands and Great Britain, Northern Ireland not entirely out of it, but probably now not going to be able to make it to the medal podium. They would need some rather unusual results in the mixed 4x400 meters relay, the concluding event.
But Spain could catch Great Britain, Phil.
And look at that Felfner, though. Ukraine still within a very slight chance of avoiding relegation. So the very last action, the A-race of the mixed 4x400 meters from the inside. Czechia, France, Spain, Netherlands, Germany, Italy, Poland, and on the outside, Great Britain, Northern Ireland.
Phil, the Netherlands, the Olympic champions, but of course they had the secret weapon Femke Bol on that occasion. Does that make them vulnerable here tonight?
I think so, and they had Lieke Klaver in there as well. No, this is a makeshift Netherlands 4x400 team.
Set.
And we're expecting Reardon to be blasting out of his blocks. He ran 44.60 to win the individual race, and already he's starting to put daylight between himself and the poles, Maximilian Schwed. Reardon having a really good run over the first half of this opening leg. Behind him, not much to choose. Edoardo Scotti of the Italians doing very well. Also the Netherlands, Keenan Blake running well at this stage. But Reardon, he's absolutely flying. Well, the stagger doesn't unwind until 150 metres into the second leg. Scotti coming through very strongly, but it's looking as though it's going to be Reardon who hands over in front, and he hands over to Lena Nielsen. Nielsen running the 400 metres hurdles. Czechia having all sorts of problems. Malikova a great runner, but Czechia got so much ground to make up. Nielsen up against the Italian. It's Troiani up at the front. Nielsen, though, very experienced 4x400 metre runner. She's very focused, and they can see what's happening as they're looking into the big screen at the end of the stadium. Troiani's edged round her. It's the Italians out in front. Troiani now about a metre or so in front of the French and the British. Poles as well, Justina Svite-Jursetic. Now, if there's somebody who knows how to run a 4x400 metre race, it's Svite-Jursetic, even though she might be in the twilight of his career. And Svite-Jursetic coming through very strongly. It's going to be the Italians who hand over in front, though. Troiani to Vicente Asete. Asete has run an awful lot of the Italian 4x400 metre races, and now he's putting daylight. He's ran a really hard first 150 metres. Well, behind him, Toby Harris, who's already been in action today in the 200 metres. Finished second in the 200 metres, closing down on Asete, though. It's a good 400 metres from Harris, who we normally expect to see in the 4x100 metres. He's doing well, is Harris. He's closing down. It's going to be neck and neck down the home straight. Italy just holding off Great Britain, and a strong run from Arenas. Now, Italy in front at the moment, but Mangione, there's a fallers behind him. But let's concentrate on what's going on at the front. Now sweeping around, Emma Newnham is up in front. She's gone round Mangione, and Newnham, the bit between her teeth. She knows this is 16 points, and she knows that this will give them a fighting chance of closing up on Poland and Germany in the medal positions. Well, Poland in third at the moment. That might be good enough to keep them in the top three, but Newnham giving it everything. Now it's coming into the home straight. It's three abreast. It's Newnham. It's Italy, and coming through so strongly, it's the Pole. It's Bukowiecki, second in the individual 400 metres, but Poland's European 400 metre champion, Natalia Bukowiecki, takes 16 points for Poland. Oh, what a thrilling race that was. Well, it smashed the championship record. That's no surprise. It was only run once before, and that was Poland 2 years ago. 3:09.42. But a championship record for the Poles. And it's also just inside their own national record. And it's national record for Italy as well.
There it is. Confirmation of Poland's championship record, a national record for Italy, a season's best for Britain, and Spain, a national record as well. How fitting is that for the hosts to finish with something special?
And Italy confirmed as champions, retaining their title from 2 years ago. Poland hold off Germany and clinch second place. Germany on the podium in third. Netherlands fourth. They've never finished higher, and a good result for Britain in fifth.
And it does confirm Ukraine, Finland as Lithuania, unfortunately, as those relegated. Hungary missing the drop by a reasonably comfortable, 12, 14 points there. But what a championship it has been. 4 days of fabulous action here in sweltering Madrid.
Taking the bronze medals in third place. 5 times champions, but having to settle for third place on this occasion, Germany. And they really had a very good second half of these championships, struggling around the middle of the table overnight between Friday and Saturday, but came through strongly and made up the ground and got themselves onto the medal table, overtaking the likes of the Netherlands and Great Britain, Northern Ireland and the hosts. Tell you what, that drum roll they've been practicing, and Poland takes second place on the podium. Well, they won in 2019 and 2021. This time around, beaten out by the Italians, but you can never, over the last couple of decades, count out the Poles.
Well, there he is, banging the table there, the monstrous shot putter who tops the world rankings this year. They are the champions, Italy, once again, retaining their title from 2 years ago in Hudson.
European champions, Italy!
And 2 years ago, Phil, they won with 426.5 points from Poland's 422.5 by only 4 points.
Yeah, 2 years ago, it went down to the last event. Not quite the same case here. Dominated proceedings over the course of the last day and a half.
Hi, I'm Nadia Batogritti. Sign up now to the European Athletics YouTube channel.